kind of a cloudy day out there to start things this morning, and a pretty good chance of some rain showers this afternoon. Highs in the mid to low 80s both today and tomorrow. And again, rain chances kind of high on the high end for Tuesday. Wednesday, a 40% chance of rain and a high of 86. You're listening to Dixon and Vining at Talk 99.5, talk995.com. Now on YouTube at Real Talk 995 TV, and download our app because podcasts are there. Listen to us there. Watch us from there. And you can call and text us from our app as well at 545-9950.
Is there anything this app can't do?
Well, it'd be nice if it could cook us a pizza since we've been doing all this pizza talk.
Pan pizza. A delicious pan pizza.
That would be nice.
That's what I'm looking for. Not really.
A little early.
Last 2 weeks have been a lot of rich food, and of course I finished off all of the 4th of July food this past weekend.
Yeah, yesterday I was dumping some of that. There wasn't a lot left, but what was left, I was like, nope, this needs to go.
I've got a little left that's going into the garbage today as I push it out to the curb, but it's just like, I don't have it in me. I'm done eating this. I did get all the ribs in though. I
that's
finished all
good.
the ribs
That's
and
good.
the corn on the cob.
Very good.
Yeah. Oof. I'm
Pasta
done.
salad went fast.
My gosh, I'm so done. I am so done. You know, you say January is on the way. I'm kind of like, why can't we actually go on a diet in July? Maybe we will.
Well, you can, but who the heck wants to do that?
Me right now. I do. I'm looking at like, I'm on about the third belt click right now, and I only got 2 left. Where are we going to go? Where are we going to go? Buy a bigger belt? I can't. I can't bring myself to do it. I cannot bring myself to do it. 807 with Dixon and Vining. Flipsy's Furniture is designer furniture at wholesale prices at 1811 Crestwood Boulevard in Irondale. 28,000 square feet of showroom there, more in the basement, and something that will fit every single style of home on the market. That's what really makes a difference. Because, you know, if you bought a house that was kind of built in 1914, like my house was in Highland Park, you need a certain style of furniture. If you bought a house that was built last year, you're going to need something else. A house that was built in the 90s, house that was built in the 60s. You know, everything deserves, you got a ranch style, you got a Cape Cod. What are you looking at? They've got something that'll fit every one of your rooms perfectly and every style imaginable. Now, you go to the Hoover store, you got stuff that's going to fit a Hoover home. And you should find out more about that by dropping by. They're right next to 2nd and Charles on Highway 31 in Hoover, across from the Galleria. Both locations have 12 months, same as cash. Both locations have white glove delivery available, or you could buy it and take it with you. You know, they're not these slow boat from China kind of places. That's not what the Flipsy's are all about. Flipsy'sFurniture.com if you'd like to find out more. Flipsy'sFurniture.com. It truly is designer furniture at wholesale prices. Check them out today.
And now, it's Dixon and Vining's top 3 things you need to know.
Well, it's really the number one story on the radar this morning, and that's learning of the death of South Carolina Senator Lindsey Graham over the weekend. He returned from a trip to Ukraine. Preliminary reports say that the 71-year-old died of a ruptured aorta brought on by chronic heart disease. The rare condition involves a tear, which is in the body's main artery and mostly affects older men. Now, we know that emergency officials went to his home about 8:30 p.m. on Saturday night after receiving a report of an individual suffering from chest pains. Medics tried to perform CPR on him, rushed him to the hospital, and a couple hours later, he was pronounced dead. So it was about 10:30 on Saturday night. President Trump actually spoke to Graham. This was about an hour and a half before all this happened on Saturday night. Graham was expected to appear on Meet the Press Sunday morning. Obviously, that didn't happen, and his family apparently has a history of heart disease. His father died of a heart attack in his late 60s. And again, a little bit shocking. This was, of course, very sudden, and there was a lot of speculation about what had happened, of course, because he had just returned from Ukraine and having that conversation with Donald Trump. But the more that they've looked into this looks like a ruptured aorta that caused this death of Senator Lindsey Graham.
I'll tell you what happened. He was from South Carolina. He had biscuits and gravy for breakfast every morning, and he had a small fried pig for lunch most days. And then dinner consisted of, country fried steak and baked beans and mashed potatoes or French fries, and eventually it caught up with him.
Well, I would imagine if you ate like that every day, it would.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know that to be the case with Lindsey Graham, but
South Carolina, that's all you need to know.
Yeah,
Barbecue, a lot
good
of
for you.
barbecue there. Bad barbecue, too. Not as good as ours.
no, it's not as good, but yeah. Over the weekend, we know that Iran attacked a container ship in the Strait of Hormuz. It doesn't seem like anything is changing there, other than the U.S. then launched several waves of strikes on Iran and will continue to do that. All we're trying to do is to make sure that these commercial ships have the ability to go through the Strait of Hormuz unharmed. I mean, they're, again, just trying to get all kinds of products through there. And apparently Iran believes that they are in charge of that. They're saying that the strait is closed, and President Donald Trump said absolutely not. The strait remains open and will remain open, and we'll do whatever we need to is necessary to make sure that those ships that go through there are safe. So we'll just keep on attacking, and that's what it appears we did over the weekend. And we'll do some more of that probably this week, I would imagine, as long as Iran is firing weapons.
I sincerely hope so. I mean, I hate to say it, but when they make it clear that the only thing they understand is brute force, then we need to dish up brute force by the handful, by the chockful, by the bushelful. You know, I mean, just keep hitting them and hitting them and hitting them when it is convenient for us to do so, until the point where they just go, "Wow, you're not going to stop, are you?" Nope, we are not going to stop. Now, you want to sign that paper? You want to get serious about this? Because we'll get serious about this, but you know. How about this? We're not going to stop till you sign the paper. Mm-hmm. We're not going to stop and talk about it.
No.
Yeah.
We're done. I think Donald Trump finally reached his limit, and he's done talking.
Yeah.
I mean, you know, they can behind the scenes continue to try to negotiate, but I think in his heart he realizes that's not going to happen.
No, they would rather play games. And, boy, when you say Donald Trump is done talking, like that never happens. He's never done. Mm-hmm. He's
Never.
always talking.
Yep.
He talks nonstop.
Finally, this story could be that if you all like this time of the year with daylight saving time, that you may get your way. It looks like this week in D.C., Congress may vote on daylight saving time to be permanent. The House is set to vote on the Sunshine Protection Act that will make a permanent change to daylight saving time. The measure passed the House Energy and Commerce Committee 48-1 back in May. And I know there's a lot of people that I think we're to a point where it's like, yeah, can we just pick a time? Daylight saving time would probably be the one everybody prefers. But let's move something through. So hopefully they'll get something done here.
Pick a time and stick with it for the love.
That would be nice.
I mean, why bouncing back and forth? We extended it, back in 2003, I want to say. Something like that. We decided that we were going to make daylight saving time longer by a month on each end, I think, because it had been like 6 and 6, and then we decided to turn it into like 8 and 4. And I get that, but you're so close.
Yeah.
At this point.
Just go ahead and pull the trigger.
If nothing else, what if we made it like 10 and 2? We just change it and go like we're only on the regular time for 2. Then it becomes weird that like the daylight saving time is the longer one and the standard time is the shorter one, and then you have to flip flop them and just go like no. We'll
go all the way.
We're going to call this one regular time, the one that we're on for 10 months, one for 2 months, daylight wasting time.
A wasting
time.
Now,
we're wasting the time, obviously, daylight time, simply by not using it.
We always complain when we go away from daylight saving time, everyone complains about it. So it's like, you know what, if we love daylight saving time so much, just let's leave the time there.
Yeah, at the same time, I get the thought process. I understand why people are, we did this once in the 1970s. I remember it fairly well. And they were concerned because kids are going to be standing on the bus stop in the dark waiting for the bus. I'm like, well, first off, how many kids even take the bus anymore? I'm sure some do.
There's a lot of kids that still ride the bus.
Okay, well,
yeah.
Do they walk to the bus stop or do they ride? Do their parents drop them off at the bus stop?
Well, I don't know. It depends. How close are you to the bus stop?
I don't know.
If it's right outside the front of your house, then you're just you don't have very far to go.
You're lucky if that is the case, but that may very well be why the problem persists, that people are concerned about this because they don't want their kids standing at the bus stop in the dark. But I'm like, well, if you, for instance, have kids that play sports, once practice is over, they're pretty much coming home in the dark.
Oh, absolutely they are.
So you can have your dark at the front of the day or you can have your dark at the back of the day. Mm-hmm. Where do you want it? This is classically cutting off one end of the blanket and sewing onto the other end to make it longer.
That's exactly right.
This is what we've we've been going around with that one for quite a while now. 8:15 with Dixon and Vining on Talk 99.5 and Talk995.com. 545-9950 if you'd like to chime in on anything you hear here or anything you don't hear. That's perfectly acceptable. Proof that Bruce Springsteen used to write some really good songs right there. He also wrote Fire for the Pointer Sisters, you know? Don't know what happened to him. 8:20, Dixon and Vining, Talk 99.5, Talk995.com. Have you listened to Tom Joad or Nebraska? those records would depress a hyena.
They sure would.
I mean,
If
golly.
you can
Right.
actually get all the way through Nebraska and
No.
still want to live,
Mm,
that's an accomplishment in and of itself.
you don't-
I couldn't make
that
it
is
through
so
the river,
depressing.
and that had some upbeat songs on it. So,
No, thank you.
yeah. Mm. It is Dixon and Vining on Talk 99.5. We're talking about music that depresses you.
Here's something that wouldn't depress you. It'll actually make you really happy.
Yeah.
If it comes to selling your vehicle, you don't have to sell it yourself. You're like, what? What kind of process is that? Or I don't have to deal with it. Because, selling a used car is a bit of a hassle. It is a pain. It takes your time. You're cleaning up the car. You're making sure it looks beautiful. And then you list it. Well, no, you don't want to do any of that. Why not turn it over to the guys at Birmingham Broker? Craig does this every single day, and he knows what he's doing, and he knows how to. Here's the main thing: is knowing where to price it so that it sells quickly, but that you're getting the value out of the car. In other words, you're not giving up a couple $1,000s to somebody else because you underpriced it. Craig knows just the sweet spot to list it at that price so it will sell quickly. That is the key to all of this. And again, you don't have to handle any of it. He handles the paperwork and getting the car cleaned up and showing it to somebody if they want to take a look at it and getting it done for you. That's what it's all about. So if maybe this weekend you were buzzing around and you're tired of the vehicle you're in, you want something newer, maybe it's an SUV, and now it's like, you know what, I don't need this. The kids are grown and gone. I'd like something a little sportier. Well, you can do that. First, sell your car through Birmingham Broker. They're located in downtown Birmingham at 2224 4th Avenue South. Find out more about Birmingham Broker. We love them. My car, Craig sold that so quick. I was so happy with the process. You will be too. BehamBroker.com, BehamBroker.com.
Well, there's something called exclusion by inclusion. What exactly does that mean? Well, let's take, for instance, your transgender men in women's sports, okay? When you say, well, we want to be inclusive, it's important that we be inclusive. So here we have these two guys who identify as women, and we're going to put them on the women's track team. Well, you have now excluded two women from being on that team because there's only a finite number of spaces on it. You've excluded two women from having a chance of getting themselves a college scholarship because their high school track team doesn't let them on. You've also excluded women from being on the podium because chances are good these guys are going to be 1 and 2 in whatever races or whatever events they're signed up for because men are simply faster, stronger, and better than women in every way. We all know it. Let's face the fact.
Good Lord. You could have stopped us a few sentences earlier.
Maybe not better than women in every way. I mean, certainly you guys are better at making sandwiches for us, I'll tell you that right now. But she's not even rolling her eyes anymore, Steve. She's just given up.
Fully ignoring you.
She's just given up. It's
Not
so
even going to
sad.
give you the side eye, huh?
Yeah. Obviously, I am joking. She did roll her eyes. So, that's exclusion by inclusion. Okay, we're seeing it again in L.A. County, where if you want to open up a food truck, you go through what can only be termed a rectal probe by the food safety people, you know?
Yes.
The health department is going to go over you with a fine-tooth comb and make sure that all the T's are crossed and all the I's are dotted and everything goes the way it's supposed to. And if for some reason somebody gets food poisoning from your truck and ends up, even hospitalized, then you're going to end up having to foot the bill. That's why you have to have insurance. You have to have all this stuff necessary to open a food truck in L.A. County. Unless, of course, you're an illegal immigrant.
And then what?
In which case, nobody is going to question you about anything because, well, once you start unraveling that ball, people end up in jail. And we don't want to jail illegal immigrants. We love them in L.A. County, so we have to make sure that we don't question what's going on. Health department doesn't do anything. They suspended any and all investigations into illegal immigrant food stands or food trucks. If somebody does in fact get food poisoning from it, these guys are
Would they look the other way?
Oh yeah, well, I mean,
Really?
some of the
Nothing
people
to
who get
see
food
here?
poisoning would very much like to sue these people, but what are they going to do? They don't have any money, so these illegal immigrants just kind of pack up and move to another area of the county and start, serving up their ptomaine there.
This is crazy.
It is insane.
Yeah.
It's insane that if you are a law-abiding citizen and you
There
are
are
in this
certain
country
rules for
legally.
you.
Oh, there's a lot of rules
And
for
if
you.
you're here illegally, there's
Nothing.
no rules
No
for
rules
you.
at all.
No, that
None.
doesn't. That doesn't.
Yeah.
I mean, way to go, L.A. Once again, California, you're just ruling the world with this. This is nonsense.
We see this with driving too, by the way. If somebody gets pulled over, they're an illegal immigrant in California, and they don't have a driver's license. Generally, they're just told, "Hey, slow down, no on delay." I don't know how to say it in Spanish. Just slowy downy.
Slowy down.
Slowy downy.
Yeah.
Close.
And,
No,
I'm sure it's close.
This does not. No.
yeah, no vamonos.
There's not certain laws for certain people and
In
other
California,
criteria.
there are.
Well, that's a problem.
Yeah.
Mayor Bass.
And then they let him go.
Oh my
And they
God.
let him
No,
go. These
no,
people
this
would go
doesn't-
back on the street in a rickety car that does not pass inspection. But
and doesn't have insurance,
Right.
and so they wreck
No
your
insur-
car, and guess whose problem
your
it is?
insurance has to pay for it. This happens all the time. I'm not making this up. This is life in L.A. at this point. It's really life in a lot of California at this point because they are so afraid of actually having to arrest an illegal immigrant and put them in the pen where then maybe ICE can get a hold of them and deport them. So they'll do anything they can to avoid that happening, which is, I mean, look, this is small potatoes compared to the fact that, for instance, they'll have a rapist. I mean, an actual rapist or a child rapist for that matter. And they will arrest them and they might try them and have them in the county lockup for a while. They don't want to put them in the state pen. They put them in the state pen. There's a chance that ICE could get them. So they keep them in county lockup for a while. And then when their sentence is up, they just like, well, there you go. Bye-bye. Run now. Run away.
There's what's eventually going to happen. The mayor is going to get sued because they're not following the rule of law.
No.
You can't set up certain rules for certain people. That's why you have laws, and that's why you have these restrictions with setting up street food vendors.
Mm-hmm.
You have to have a certain decorum, and it should apply to every single person.
Absolutely.
Somebody's going to get sued big time over this.
I would think so. I would hope
do
so.
too. I do
I mean, it's crazy to me that we do have one set of laws for law-abiding citizens and one set of laws for people who are here illegally. And the rules for the people who are here illegally are like no rules. There aren't really any rules at all.
Yeah, right. They just don't exist.
Yeah,
No.
we're not gonna cause problems for you because we don't want you to be picked up and sent home. Why not? Why don't you want them picked up and sent home? Why do you have a problem with that? Well, I feel sorry for them. Well, tell them to go home and fix their own damn country. You know, how's the country ever going to get fixed if everybody who ever has a problem with it packs up and comes here? Whether that be from Pakistan or it's from Sri Lanka, Ceylon, whatever, or it's from Mexico or Honduras or El Salvador. I'm trying to use all the Hispanic accents because that's what you have to do. Honduras, El Salvador. Yesterday I had a chimichanga.
Did you ever have a car with rich Corinthian leather?
Rich Corinthian leather. The
Forgot about that
the
one.
beauty of Cordoba.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
That car was such a hit for a short period of time.
It was Ricardo
It was
Montalban.
it was the accent that did
Ricardo
it. The sales went
Montalban.
through the roof due to the accent.
Absolutely.
Yeah, this is insane what they're doing in Los Angeles. No wonder people are leaving in droves.
When can we get that just San Andreas fault to break apart and
Please, sooner than
just
later.
let the whole thing drift away there?
Right.
We are so done with you people. 5459950 should you wish to join the subject matter and let us know how you feel. I know a lot of people in our audience have traveled around a great deal and have seen something of this ilk. If you have a story, I'd like to hear it. Don't forget about the Dixon and Vining question of the day. You'll find that on our Facebook page, facebook.com/Dixon and Vining. Also my Facebook page, Radio Dixon. And then the Talk 99.5 Facebook page. You can answer in any one of those three areas. And we'll get to that in about an hour and a half right now. You're listening to Dixon and Vining on Talk 99.5 and Talk995.com. 8:34. Dixon and Vining, Talk 99.5, Talk 99.5, Will writes and says, slow O, down O. That's how you say that in Spanish. Okay, we know that now. They seriously will just cut guys loose. I was speaking at one point to, he had been the police chief in Montgomery, and he became the head of security of the ABI, I believe, Alabama Bureau of Investigation. This was many, many, many years ago. And he was talking about how they were traveling up the road from Montgomery to Birmingham for something. And they were in a police cruiser. And there was a car full of illegal immigrants that they were breaking the law. Their tag was out of date. It was horrible. Pulled them over. And they said, this guy says to me, we had an appointment in Birmingham that we really could not miss. We had to go. And here's this car full of illegal immigrants. Not one of them has a driver's license. They speak broken English at best. And if we had gone through with the arrest process, taking them into custody, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera, not enough room in our vehicle, would have had to wait for another vehicle to show up. Could have taken the car keys away, but then you got a wreck on the side of the road, just a junk car on the side of the road and bunch
people
of
milling about.
Yeah, illegal immigrants walking up the interstate. It was like, that doesn't seem like a good idea. So we basically gave them back their keys and said, you're going to have to go, turn yourselves in or stop doing this or whatever. But, here was the top law enforcement guy in the state basically just going, bye, go ahead. This happens all the time. It is so frustrating. At some point, you're like, are we not going to arrest these people? Are we not going to hold them responsible? What if they kill somebody? What happens then? The Alabama Men's Clinic. Well, these guys are interested in your T-zone. What is your T-zone, your testosterone level? Testosterone's a very, very important part of every male body, and after a certain point, it doesn't get manufactured to the same degree that it used to be. So you're getting a lot less into your body, and maybe you start to feel a little sluggish. Maybe your appetite is changing. Maybe you're having trouble losing weight or gaining muscle. These are all signs that your testosterone level is low. You get in touch with the Alabama Men's Clinic, get your initial consultation, find out what your T level is, and then you leave with a plan on how you're going to get that testosterone back up to where it needs to be. Variety of options. They're all about options. There are options for your ED, about options for your hair loss and weight loss as well. Men is their middle name. It is urology-backed medicine. And if you just look at yourself in the mirror and you think, this is not who I want to be, testosterone might just be your best friend. The Alabama Men's Clinic, 598-7000, or online at alabamamen'sclinic.com. Richard, you forgot Guatemala. Guatemala, one of my favorite words to say. Guatemala. Espacio.
Yeah, Spanish for space, I think.
Okay. Set the time and leave it. The chickens don't care what a clock says. They get up with the sun, says Thomas. I guess that's true. Morris Albert, feelings. Why, Pete, are you telling us that?
Why would we want to? You want me to play it? No.
Feelings. Oh, feelings. No.
Yeah, not happening.
No. Think your next roving taste test quest should be in search of the best hero in Birmingham. I don't think so.
Are there enough places to do that?
Probably not. Thank you. Love CRN, by the way, and huge Valerie fan, and the guy is okay, I guess, says Houston. I listen to Talk 99.5 all day.
Yeah, he was asking about where he could re-listen to or rewatch last Saturday show.
Uh-huh. Let's see. This is our cat, Georgia Bell, listening to Richard this morning. She will not leave till the show is over. Well, Georgia Bell, it's nice to talk to you. Georgia. Can you hear me, Georgia? How are you, Georgia? Who's your pretty girl? Who's your pretty girl? That's from Pam and Trustful.
It's a cat. Cat doesn't care.
No, the cat really does not care. You're absolutely right. South Carolina, also known culinary for oyster roasts and frogmore stew. Just saying. Okay. Have you ever ate at Pasquale's Pizza? There was one in Livingston, Alabama in the 80s when I went to the University of West Alabama. Great pizza, cold draft beer, and good times. Y'all are doing a good job. I listen every morning on iHeart. Thank you, John. You should listen on our app. You'll be happier.
They were all over Birmingham in the 1980s. I remember Pasquale's pretty well.
There is, I think there's still one in Gardendale, if I'm not mistaken. He sent you poison ivy sheets. Somebody sent me poison ivy sheets. Wouldn't that be something? If they were like sheets coated with poison ivy.
Gardendale, Fieldstown Road. Yes, you are correct.
I think I'm going to wash those sheets before I put them on the bed. Maybe I'll wash them.
That's probably a good
today.
idea.
Yeah. Because they're linen, and it'll make them a little softer and nicer. Richard says, when I win the lottery, I promise to buy all the ad time and let you all just talk. Love your show.
Okay.
Very nice, Richard. If you just, why don't you just split it with us, and then we'll just come to your house and talk. How about that? Pasquale's in Coleman, too, says Eliza. All righty, good to know. Thank you for that. Appreciate you very much, everybody who chimes in. Here is a weird story. Parents in Salina, Kansas, left 6 children in a hot car on the hottest day of the year. Police responded to a call at about 2 p.m. regarding children being left alone in a vehicle with only one window cracked. The children had been left for 20 to 30 minutes. Heat index was over 100 degrees. 53-year-old Michael Kruger and 40-year-old Tiffany Kruger were arrested on 6 counts of aggravated child endangerment. All 6 children, ranging in age from 7 months old to 13 years old, were taken into protective custody. Somebody explain to me how you leave 6 children in a car while you and your spouse are like, we're going to go in this restaurant and eat, and you all can just sit here and bake.
Yeah, that is not forgot about you. That's 6.
Yeah. I know that they intended to leave them in the car, but I'm confused as to why would you do this? And I wonder if this is the first time they did it. Have they been leaving their kids in the car while they go to eat, get dinner on a regular basis? I mean, don't get me wrong. Feeding 6 kids can be expensive. I get it. But bring them into the restaurant. Give them the free crackers.
There you go.
Yeah. I mean, everybody gets a glass of water. Not the 7-month-old. She just spilled it. But everybody else.
Sippy cup.
Yeah, sippy
pour
cup.
it into the sippy cup.
There you go. I can't even imagine what kind of car this is. I'm guessing it's a hunk of junk, judging from the look of these 2 people, which they do not look like they should ever be allowed to breed, and they did 6 times. And could the 13-year-old not just open the door?
One would think.
I mean, what?
Or did Dad disable the locks?
I suppose it's possible, but locking your kids in a hot car with, good Lord. Then you're going to come out and you're going to be like, oh, wow, we forgot our 6 children in the car.
Sure you did.
I thought the restaurant was unusually quiet. No. They're not telling us, by the way, what restaurant these 2 were in. But if I had to take a stab at it, I want to say it was, what's worse than Waffle House?
Good question.
Is there a step below Waffle House? Toddle House.
Toddle?
Yeah. The omelet shop. I don't know. One of those places where they took a Waffle House and they turned it into something worse.
Yeah, omelet shop, and they made it sound really good because they spelled it SHOPPE.
Right, only because that's how many spaces they had. They had little squares that they had to work with, so they got the SHOPPE in there. They're not fooling anybody. All right, the Krugers are in custody, and we'll find out what happens here in the not-too-distant future. Children's body temperature rises 3 to 5 times faster than adults. They just do not have the same regulating capabilities that an adult was. Temperature inside the vehicle can reach dangerous levels within a short period of time. Temperatures can be deadly within a matter of minutes. Anything can happen at any time. Even if you think you're going to be gone for just a few minutes, that could turn into an hour. We simply do not want to leave unattended children or pets in unattended vehicles, period. Yeah, I never would do that with my daughter, even if I was just going into the convenience store for a second. I was always like, and you're coming with me. Because, you don't know. What if you just left it running in the AC?
That's dangerous.
Right, somebody manages to find their way in and takes off with you. Wait, come to think of it, that might not be. Never mind.
Looking back.
Mm-hmm. Now, in reflection.
I don't do it with the dog either, because even if it was just for a few seconds, because somebody's bound to break the glass of
Yep.
the window thinking, well, how long has this dog been in here?
Yep.
Yeah, there goes the window and there goes the dog, and now you're in.
Won't do it.
Mhm.
Of course, I got 3, so I can't go
Yeah, you
anywhere
can't really
without.
do that.
I got to take it. Wow, you missed it, Valerie. You were out of the room for a moment, but it turns out I have a huge fan, who is a cat,
Who is Cat?
a cat.
A cat.
Yeah, Pam from Trustful.
Mm-hmm.
This is our cat, Georgia Bell, listening to Richard this morning. She will not leave till the show is over. And there she is.
See,
Eh? Eh?
right behind the receiver.
That's right.
I love that.
Can we get her a diary of
I like that receiver.
The Kenwood classic.
Yeah,
huh?
that is a classic.
That's a classic right there.
Mm-hmm.
Set for 99.5. It's got the digital readout on it. Very nice,
Very
Pam. You
nice.
you spent the big money on that Kenwood. I like it.
There's no doubt.
Well done. And Georgia Bell. Georgia. Georgia. Can you hear me, Georgia?
Got the cat
Bell?
addicted to the show.
Oh,
What could be better than that?
Well,
We could use a mascot.
cats are
Maybe the
high
cat could be our mascot.
high intelligence individuals.
Yes.
Cats are very, very smart.
They're
which
very
is-
finicky too.
So exactly, very picky.
Meow.
Right. Don't scare Georgia.
Hey Georgia.
Stop that. You're disturbing my fan. 846 with Dixon inviting Talk 995, talk995.com. Patty Smythe and Scandal before she went off and did the solo thing. And, at one point she was considered to be the voice of Van Halen for Van Halen 3. Before Gary Cherone was hired, they wanted Patty Smythe. Well, Eddie Van Halen wanted Patty Smythe. And she said no. Wait, now, whoa, hey, what? But she was kind of drifting away from the career at the moment. She wasn't all that, she wasn't all that in a bag of chips. She was married, and
Did you say all that?
I was going to say, are you laughing? Are you laughing at my '90s reference there?
I hadn't heard that in a long time.
All that and a piece of pie.
I like that.
I like that better, actually. Dixon Dividing Talk 99.5, talk995.com. Should you wish to join the show, you can drop us a line at 545-9950. We'd love to hear from you. Hey, how about a little good news?
Let's hear it.
I mean, we've got, we got Lindsey Graham passing away. We have got Iran being bombed. We have got
too many celebrity deaths, too.
Yeah.
There's a lot of that over the weekend.
A lot of celebs passing away on us. Not Mitch McConnell, interestingly. We can't kill him with fire.
The Mitch McConnell thing is a bit odd.
Yeah.
Can I just say that for a minute? Because we're getting word now of this picture of him in the hospital is 3 years old.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Wait a minute.
They dug that out.
Yeah, you're like,
Made it look good.
whoa, what's going on here?
He's been in the hospital for 3 years? That seems like a long time.
Do we have a current status update?
We'd like to see one.
It's a little strange
Somebody?
right now.
Anybody? Bueller? Mm-hmm. How about this for good news? A man has launched a suicide prevention campaign.
Wait, I thought you were bringing us. Okay, go.
Prevention.
Prevention.
Did you hear the word prevention?
I heard suicide. I was like, good, right? Okay.
Dan Perryman came up with an idea. It's called the Empty Chairs Campaign. He's been asking people he doesn't know to sit with him in pubs across the country ever since December of last year, when his best friend Rob Clancy tragically died by suicide at age 29. Wanted to make sure nobody else ever felt alone, even perfect strangers, Perryman started heading out to restaurants and pubs wearing a bright orange hoodie to make his presence obvious to anyone choosing to chat with him. Now, no Alabama fan is going to talk to him because he looks like a Tennessee fan. But yeah. Just a few weeks ago, he held his program's 1,000th meetup in Leigh-on-Sea, Essex, featuring about 12 attendees, and said he's proud of how far it's come.
That's pretty cool.
Such an incredible experience. I'm loving every second of it still. The resident of Stratford in East London told news agency SWNS. When I started it, it came from such a place of sadness. To see how simple this idea is, it's been able to help so many people. It's been really nice. I've been able to meet and connect with so many new people and learn about them. It gives people an opportunity to speak openly if they need it. This is reminiscent of I want to say it's in Australia, where there is a cliff that has been just like a suicide haven. People would throw themselves off this cliff on a regular basis because they were, miserable and wanted to die. And this guy bought a house that was right on the cliff. And anytime he'd see somebody out there, he'd invite them in for a cup of tea.
I remember seeing something about this, yeah.
And he had saved like well over 200 people from committing suicide just by sitting down and talking about it,
Sometimes that's all
you
need.
That little extra moment between I'm going to do it and wait a minute, what am I really thinking? Because it's such a permanent solution to a temporary problem that you hate to see somebody go through with it when you realize that it's, tomorrow the sun is going to come up again. And you should probably be here for it,
As long as you can.
I get clinical depression. I have actually been depressed in the past and have taken medication for it. I understand. I get what that's all about. I'm not trying to make light of it or say, hey, cheer up. But I can tell you that it is sometimes very, very difficult to see a path forward without somebody else there to talk to you about it and provide that opportunity or that opening for you. Gary Gulman, one of my favorite comics, he was clinically depressed for years and years and years and ended up going to an actual institute, an asylum, as it were. I mean, he checked himself in to a psychiatric ward because he was so far gone. But he really turned it into some great comedy. He's like, when I'm not depressed and I see a sunset, it's one of the most beautiful, gorgeous, godly things you'll ever see on the planet. When I am in one of my bouts of depression and I see a sunset, I just think, oh, you're giving up too.
Oh, no. At least he has a sense of humor.
But yeah, well, I mean, he's a comedian. He better have a sense of humor.
I think this is wonderful. This guy that again, he reached out to this many people just because of an orange sweatshirt.
Yeah.
He was able to be identified.
I'll say this, though. I have dined out a great deal alone. I tend to like to be alone. I tend to be left alone most of the time, mostly because of the smell. But when I'm sitting at a restaurant and I'm just enjoying and maybe looking at my phone or maybe reading a book or something that I brought, somebody comes up and goes, hey, mind if I sit with you? I want to be like, what are you trying to sell me? You know, what is it?
The skeptic in you.
Are you with Amway? What's this all about, you know? However, I would probably accept the invitation and have them sit down just because, do you ever really have too many friends?
No, you can never.
You can always use another one.
No.
I mean,
that happens a lot on the golf course. Like there's a lot of players that single play. They don't have a second person. Obviously not a foursome. And they'll go out and, if they're single, they'll get paired up with somebody. Well, you can meet a lot of people that way.
Absolutely.
If you just go out to the golf course all the time by yourself, you get paired up with somebody. You're like, well, I made a new friend today.
There you go. Someone else I can borrow money from, which is exactly what you're after.
Or you might meet somebody you want to hit over the head with a 9-iron.
Well, that could happen, too.
Also a possibility.
Mm-hmm. Happened to me one time.
I was going to say, enough about Valerie.
Yeah.
Nobody wants to hit you with a 9-iron.
No, I wanted to hit somebody else with a 9-iron.
Oh, okay. No, I was thinking like a pitching wedge at best for you.
No.
I wouldn't,
Thank you.
9-iron seems a little overkill. Overkill.
7-iron, I prefer. I hit it the best.
A putter.
Yeah.
I have two modes, by the way, when I'm out in public. Same thing with parties. We've talked about this before. I have two modes. One is I keep my mouth shut. I mumble. I just want to stay out of everybody's way.
And everybody goes, what's wrong with him?
Yeah.
The guy's on the radio. He talks for a living.
Hopefully
he
they
didn't
don't
say 2 words the whole night.
Hopefully they don't recognize me.
What the heck?
If I'm at a place where there's a chance that I can get away with that. And the other is I'm actually like uber friendly and actually talk to people and want to know their names and who they are. Friday night, by the way, I get called out from the stage. Alan Barlow is like, oh, Richard Dixon sitting in the front row. I'm like, why?
Don't. You're there.
Why?
You're there just to relax.
But from that point on, like I had a dozen people come up to me. Oh, I listen to your show every day. The guy sitting next to me goes, you're Richard Dixon? I said, yeah. He goes, I listen to you every morning. That was the last words we spoke to each other. I said, thank you. And that was it. Like then we just went back to enjoying the band. But I had so many people come up to me and say, wow, I love your knowledge of music. Nobody, by the way, said anything at all about you.
Oh, well, that's
Just
good.
so you know.
I prefer to stay out of it.
No, people did mention
you.
Steve.
They did. That's good. I'm glad I got it.
What's he still doing there? But no, I'm kidding. They did not.
They wouldn't be the only people that wondered.
They did. Yeah, like your wife, for instance. Seriously, you can't find a better job now? No, they did ask about you, actually. And I lied so much.
Yeah. Thank you. Thank you for lying.
Non-stop
I need somebody to cover for me.
About you.
Run interference every time, Richard. I appreciate you.
But it's a good time. I would never actually try to stand up and glom that sort of attention for myself. But when somebody else points you out and then suddenly you're, signing autographs, that's a good feeling. There's nothing wrong with that. That's like I feel like Sally Field. You like me. You actually like me. No one is more shocked than I. Here's her number. Would you call my mom and tell her that? Oh, wait, never mind. She's dead. I forgot.
Too late, Richard.
9 o'clock, Dixon
Too
and
late.
Fighting Talk 99.5.